who sired us. Those fae had somehow learned that by killing us, their powers would revert to them. With that knowledge, they hunted us mercilessly. We evaded them for many years, constantly moving, until we found a remote corner of the world. We thought we were safe. We thought they had given up. But one night, they found us. The attack that left my sisters dead left me on the verge of death, too. One fae had gotten a hold of me and peeled pounds of flesh from my bones. Before I managed to break free and fly away, the dark fae had spelled my wounds, holding them open. He was determined to kill me, one way or another. And the loathing hatred in his eyes told me exactly who he was. He was my father, the one who sired me. He had passed a small portion of his power onto me, and he wanted it back. I crashed onto the beach outside of the Palace of Paruth, where Queen Tessa had been taking a midnight stroll. She found me and helped me to her palace, where she and the human healer spent painstaking hours stitching me back together. Once the wounds were closed, the magic he used to hold them open dissipated. Using the most powerful spell I could summon, my flesh became new again. Not a scar or even a blemish remained. As I turned my forearms looking at the flawless flesh, I realized how close to death I had been, and vowed that very moment that I would repay her kindness and mercy when she decided she needed both. She invited me to stay and choose a room of my own in the palace. I'd chosen the darkest corner and decided I would only stay for a few days. During those days, the Queen and I became fast friends. She asked me to stay longer and told me there were no fae in Paruth. Until a few days ago, that was true. She pressed her eyes tightly shut, tears squeezing out of them and running down her face. "I want you to take Raya away from here, and I need you to take her right now." "Where shall we go?" I couldn't take her to the Southern Isle without endangering her, and now that the fae were hunting us in the Seven Kingdoms, nowhere was safe. "You have to take her somewhere. This plague cannot reach her." The only place I could think of was mercilessly remote. "I know of a place," I finally muttered, glancing around the room. We needed supplies. I had plenty of fruit and bread to take with us, and the ocean could provide meat. I called on the air around us, and the wind responded, blowing in circles around the room. My magic wasn't gone. The Queen's hair and skirts thrashed under its power. While I couldn't work spells here, I could fly away. "I can fly her to safety." She wiped her cheeks. "I fear the rest of us are already damned. My husband thinks we've outsmarted the illness, but you and I know better." She clutched her stomach. Was she already ill? Or was the thought of sending her only daughter away with me making her nauseous? I strode to the back wall and gathered my broom. I hadn't flown since the day I crashed onto the Paruthan beach. I turned to the Queen, my hand tightening on the broom handle. "Where is she?" "In her chamber." "Where will you take her?" "There is a small island in the center of the Sea of Bones. Tell your sailors to look for the light, and they will find us." "The old lighthouse," she whispered. "It's perfect." Gathering fruit, bread, and a skin of water, I wrapped them in a long shawl and tied the ends tightly. Then we took the secret passageways behind the thick palace walls, passages that hadn't been taken for a long time, judging by the dense cobwebs and footprints we left in the thick dust as we carved our way up and into the palace.